Everyone, welcome to another episode of Independent Artists Unite Song Series. Today, very excited to have Ryder Houston here from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Scott. Thanks for having me.
Is it still the city of brotherly love, or did they give up on that?
They still call it that. I don't know. I don't know where that came from, but it is in my heart. I don't know.
Um, and how long have you been in Philadelphia? You originally came from Dallas, Texas, right?
Yeah, I was born in Dallas, lived all my life in Dallas, and I came in 2020.
2020. Okay, so you haven't been there that
Yeah.
long. Yeah.
It feels pretty long now.
Yeah. Well, um, and you did I read in your Spotify bio there, you started off as a filmmaker before you tried music. Is that right?
Yes, and I am still a filmmaker.
And you are still doing okay. Yeah. Well, because the song that we're gonna talk about, Knows No Bounds, it does have a cinematic quality to it. I could hear that in the music. In fact, I hope I'm not going to offend you, but I could almost hear it as a James Bond theme if it got the full treatment in it.
Love that. Well, I'm a big fan of Garbage's Bond moment, so
Oh yeah.
that was definitely. I think I actually was referring to that song while I was mixing a little bit, so
Is
I
that
don't
right?
know.
Yeah.
That is right, yeah.
Yeah, it's got some. I was thinking as I was listening to it, I'm like, is he gonna take it to like full orchestra here? Yeah. And there
I
is like a
have,
little touch, right? There is a little touch of
yeah, there are some samples. I have no
yeah.
chill. I have a big problem with going full, like,
Oh,
full melodrama. And
welcome,
I
welcome.
am, no, I am waiting for the day when I can just, and it's gonna have to be like with a collaboration where I can just make a song that doesn't fucking like go that far. But I can't do it.
I can't do it either. I can't do it either. My excuse is I worked at the Metropolitan Opera for 8 years as
Wow.
an actor on stage there. And so that's what I blame my melodrama on. Of course, I had it before then, but that's what I'm saying now. But same thing with me. I have every song has got to go to the stratosphere.
No, it knows no bounds. It knows no fucking bounds.
Um, and how would you kind of categorize yourself as? Are you synth pop? Would you say, or
I used to hate that label.
oh, really?
Because I would get just grouped with these bands that are just um I'm just frustrated that I it's hard to like categorize
Yeah.
what I do. Right now I would just say that I'm like alternative. Usually I'm pushing more towards rock. This
Oh,
song especially is like the rockiest song that I've ever done. But it's more down tempo, trip hop, electronica.
and how did you know Ruin the Mind? Ryan from Ruin the Mind, or did you
We are
meet
just
online?
we did just meet online, yeah.
Okay, yeah. He's
And I
he's
love all the stuff that he puts out.
yeah. It's so cool that you can make these connections with people. Uh,
I have a friend, Poison the Vicar, who did a remix for me a couple years ago, and he lives in Shanghai, and he
wow.
is actually moving to Philly now. He just actually came up to visit us, me and my friend Deshaun, who is Voice in the Dark, who was also featured on one of my songs. So yeah, and we met because he found my song on Reddit. So it's
Wow.
crazy that you really can meet the weirdest people you never thought you'd ever meet.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a guy that pretty much has turned out to be my best friend, I have to say, or one of them, is James K. Ultra from Pain in the Ass. I don't know if you know them at all, but he's producing all my songs now. He lives in Virginia, and I'm in Denmark, so yeah, it's funny. But you
It's
can do these
interesting.
things nowadays. You can do these things. Um, so let's talk about how No No Bounds came about. When you're sitting down to write a song, is it always the same kind of method, or was this one a bit different? How did it start out?
This one was a bit different. I struggle a lot with writing. I'm more of a producer, arranger.
Mm,
I'm really good whenever I'm working with my writing partner, Ariana Kelly.
mm,
Um, Whenever, she's classically trained, she sits down at the piano, comes up with some chords, and then I'm able to like expand on that, think of all the other instruments that can come in with that.
mm,
It's really hard for me musically to come up with something out of thin
mm.
air. And this song was weird because it actually started from the title, which
Oh,
never
really?
happens. That never happens. It's always, I always have to figure out what the hell the lyrics even are, and those come so late. And then I'm like, okay, I guess this is the title.
Mm.
But the title of this actually came from I think an episode of Judge Judy. She I have a list on my phone of just all these like idioms and proverbial
Yeah.
statements, and
No.
I think I found this one. I think Judge Judy said this one. She said something about some her jurisdiction knows no bounds or something like that. I was like, oh, that's good.
Is she still going, Judge Judy? Is she still?
You know what? I was keeping
No.
up with her like probably 2 years ago, and I don't know. I think her newest show might have just stopped. That's what
No.
I'm thinking because I haven't heard anything, but she was still going. Yeah, she was still going.
Maybe Judge Judy. Oh man.
But yeah, so
Uh,
after I had the title like that, I talked to um Ariana, and she sat down with some chords, and although nothing directly came out of that session, I didn't use what we came up with.
mhm.
It led me into the next steps of on my own finding the chords and what the song ended up becoming.
No. So would you also sit down at a keyboard or is it a guitar or
No, I can't play anything.
okay. So you're just messing around trying to find something.
Yeah, I'm purely like purists would like hate me. I sit on my computer. The only way I learned was, I mean, I went to lessons when I was a kid, but it just, I don't know, I couldn't like, I guess I wasn't disciplined. I couldn't put my mind there. So I just noodle around on the computer.
Oh yeah. Well, why not? Um, and a few lessons as a kid actually goes a long way, I have to say, too, probably.
It does
Um,
because it makes you think about things.
yeah.
Even if you don't practice it, it makes you, puts you in the
Mm.
right frame of mind.
So you're noodling around on the computer and it kind of came up with a structure, and then the rest of and then you said the lyrics came late in the game.
I knew what I wanted to explore lyrically. It's actually it was when I was talking to Ariana about the song and kind of dictating her what I wanted the song to feel like musically. I
Mm,
was telling her about what I wanted the themes of the song to be, and it was I'd read something in a book called The Road Less Traveled.
mm,
It's like an old psychology book.
yeah.
And it was talking about like ego boundaries and how when you like are like in lust with someone, or you think you're falling in love with them, you like you get so addicted to it because you let down like all your boundaries, and you're like your
Mm,
most comfortable like fullest self with them, and then when you break up it's like a mess because now
mm,
you have to put things back up, and you have to like go back into melting like
mm.
it, yeah. So I
I
wanted to talk about
I
that.
don't know what you're talking about.
No, I don't think anybody knows about that. I don't think anybody knows about that, really. I'm still I'm still trying to know what that is.
Okay, so it was kind of about that process.
It was about that, and I had some really clear musical inspirations. I was listening to George Michael's oh, I forgot what that album was called. It's the one that has Fast Love on it.
I don't know if I know the names of his records
It was
actually,
like,
or
oh,
his albums.
I can't believe I forgot this. Oh, it's older.
Older, okay.
Um, yeah, I think it was older. But he has a song on there called "The Strangest Thing," which
Mm,
has just a. It's a very, very like. It has a little bit of a dance beat, but that's really all it has, and
mm,
um, it has this like sitar sample
mm,
from like some like MIDI sampler,
mm.
and um, I wanted to replicate something like that for this song, and I think I did to my liking.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, well, it's a beautiful song, and can you read the lyrics for us?
The whole lyrics?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
All right. Making love in the sunlight, daylight, light beams streaking through the window pane. Yeah, the covers can't keep it out. Did I hear you say you like me better when the light is right? Well, we can wait for the night to fall. I know my self-respect is peculiar. Oh, won't you please understand me? I know a place where we can go where the sun goes down, where a kiss knows no bounds, no boundaries, no more. This tower's ticking for you to breathe into my mind a new phase, a time to follow through. Can I hear you say it? Say it's never too late to change. A heartbeat's well been set into motion. I let you disregard this to cool the air. Oh, won't you take this from me now? I know a place where we can go where the moonlight's out, where a kiss knows no bounds, no boundaries. Tapering off my medication, seeing a sexual vindication. Let it go, tell me in my ear those secret words I hold so dear. Endless bloods for proportions, sealing off your love distortion. Herein lies my pale complexion underneath your sex inflection. Let's stow our self-obsessed little barriers. Oh, with these hands I command thee. I know a place where we can go, where the light is right, where a kiss knows no bounds, no boundaries, no more. That
Beautiful.
was them. I've never had to just talk them up before. It's really weird.
I know. It is weird, but I like to have people do that because it's interesting for me to hear how someone that wrote lyrics recites them, you know. I think it's really interesting. But yeah, that's beautiful. That stands right alone as a poem as well. Um, the tapering off medication, that line, can you talk more about that, or is that too personal?
That actually was that bridge section there. That whole section was actually um a hold off from my last single, "Running Out of Road." That was supposed to be. I was working on that to be the pre-chorus for that song. Because both songs mention a sexual vindication,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
so they're tied in that way. And it basically I am off my meds now. I've been off my meds for almost a year now, and it just gets to the point where you're just like, I know this is like turning off, you know, any anxieties and worries I
Mm,
have, but it's
mm,
also turning everything else off,
right.
which is
Um,
something that is kind of devastating as an artist. So,
I hear you. I was wondering if that's what it was about because I'm on like max antidepressants right
oh
now. I
really?
had a big kind of crash uh, last year, and I mean, I was just like in the fetal position, for days, not you know, not able to do anything. So I went on these meds, and then it was I just kept going on more and more. So now I'm just like on the max dose, and I'm the same with me. Certain parts of my body don't work the way they used to.
It's just
and I don't care. That's the strangest, you know.
there you go. Just basically the way that I gauge it is if the movies that used to make me cry can't make me cry anymore,
Mm,
we got a problem.
yeah, 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 yeah. But I'm very interested in like, now that I'm on these meds at this like volume, or this quantity, like how, I mean, it seems impossible for to even consider tapering it off, but I would like to do that myself. There's part of me that just thinks, oh, I'm good, you know, I'm not having those real bad crashes.
Hmm.
But at the same time, like you said, there are things that I miss, and I miss the ups and the downs a little bit too of life. It is a big part of being an artist, like you said.
Well, here's the thing. We just came out of winter, and I think it's getting better now that the sun is actually out, but
Mm.
that seasonal depression was tough.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, what I'm starting to realize is I'm like, maybe should I go back on? Like the grass is always greener.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we have, I don't know if you know anything about Denmark, but it's like in the winter, the sun comes up at like 8:30 in the morning, and it
Hmm.
goes, the sun sets at like 3 in the afternoon. I mean, it's
Oh my
brutal. It's
God,
brutal. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah. So it's really challenging here. Maybe that caught up to me too, because I've been here for 13 years or something, and maybe I just had had enough of that shit. I don't know.
I could never. I could never.
Yeah.
Never.
Um,
Well, the song also in the lyrics, there's a lot about um the sun going down and about
mm,
the condition of light. So that's
yeah,
kind of
that's true too.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Interesting about that.
Um, and I was looking at your Instagram. You do a lot of live shows, right?
Not as much as I would hope for, but
Okay.
I do have one,
Oh,
and
you
I have
do
a
have
big
live
one.
shows, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And what do you do when you play live? Do you sing with the computer like backing tracks, or you
That's
have
how
a
I had been
band of
doing it. Yes,
yeah.
I have a little special device that's like a mixer player thing that's like really portable that
Yeah.
is brand new. So I would usually just do that, and I would no instruments, just it's just like glorified karaoke. But for
Yeah.
this upcoming show on the 20th, with Ronnie Stone, um, who if you don't know him, you gotta know him.
Oh no, I don't know.
Fucking, oh my God,
I'll
fabulous,
check it out.
fabulous.
Send me a link or something in the Instagram.
I will. His shows are kick ass. But for this next show, I will have my bass player and my guitar player from this EP
Oh, nice.
with me. Because you, as much as like, as much as a backing track sounds like the record, I really, I really strive to have that. Just you gotta give the audience a little something
Mm.
to look at,
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
root
yeah,
for. You gotta,
yeah,
if someone's shredding out a solo, like they're gonna root for that. But if
yeah,
it's just playing all around them, it just, they don't really believe it.
yeah. Does it go over all right though with the backing tracks with the audience?
I think I push it to the limits.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
I think I sell it pretty good, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's awesome. I think someone told me about those things too. Is it like and you just put what are those things called?
I used to have it right next to me. A
Oh my
USB.
God, a USB. Yeah, is that what you do? You stick a USB in there?
No,
Yeah,
it's this brand new device that just came out that's like maybe the size of like one of those like tinier iPads.
yeah.
And it looks like a little like interface, and it has many
Okay.
outputs on it, and it has like a little dial on it, and um
Oh, that sounds
it's
cool.
basically like a glorified MP3 player.
Okay. Yeah, and it looks so it's just kind of like more sturdy. It's like made for doing gigs.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And that's what I was searching for so long, and I finally found it, and it just came out like 2 years ago.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
I
have to
think
show you.
someone was
I'll have to
telling
show
me
you
about
it.
that. Yeah, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. I've been thinking about. I was like had many live bands in the '90s, and into the 2000s a little bit, but yeah, I was thinking about doing like some live shows to the backing tracks and stuff. So I'm always interested to hear how it goes for people.
Well, with this thing, you can like split off, customize any stems you want. You
Mm,
can it like auto syncs video projections, DMX
wow.
lighting. So it really
Oh,
does it all.
cool.
It has many
Wow.
different, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so you had when did this EP come out? That's got No New Bounds on it?
February 9th.
Oh, okay, so it's just come out.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's brand new, brand
All
new.
right, all right, all right. And okay, so you're not planning anything else yet? Are you always writing, or are you just working on promoting this for a while?
Oh man, I have this movie that I have been dying to get together, that I've been
Okay.
writing for the past 5 years since my last film came out. And the reason I got into doing this like solo work is because I composed the soundtrack for my film and released like a promotional single for it, and then I was just like, oh, let me keep doing this. It's cheaper than making a movie. Um, but it's yeah, I don't know. I I've been really tempted to start putting all my focus on this movie, but I don't want all this music to, all the my efforts in this to go to waste. So I'm trying to just build up some steam or some attention so that, my other art can survive. But no, as of right now, I can't imagine the next record. But I am planning on doing many remixes and collaborations.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm into right now.
Yeah. And now and so and remix people, you're these are people that you've met online and stuff too? You said? Was that
Uh,
the guy from
Shanghai, yeah,
the
he
singer? Yeah.
he he did a remix for me a couple years ago. And I'm always looking for more. It's just hard because it's hard to find. Basically, I'm just like, can I just like clone myself and have myself like do a different version of this song? But um, but no, I'm really trying to work on being more open to collabs. But I don't know. It's just hard to I don't know. It's hard to find people that you like really are dying to collab with
Mm,
that will pay attention to you.
yeah. Have you done collabs before?
Other than the collabs with my writing partner, Ariana,
Mm.
who also is like an opera singer, she does
Oh,
all the
wow.
like beautiful backing vocals. Um, no, none on this song though. So other than that and the featured like rap verse from Voice in the Dark in my song Neither Wrath Nor Punishment,
Mm,
no, not yet.
mm.
But definitely am planning to do some more.
Yeah, I was like seeing people doing collabs and stuff, and I don't know, it's weird. It's like very vulnerable, to let someone into your creative process, isn't it?
It is, and I am
Like,
such a terrible control freak, and I don't know how I'd be able to do it. In that situation, though, but that's the thing. That's why you want to get someone who you're dying to work with, so
mm,
that whatever they do, you're just like, that's better than anything I could have ever done. Like, yes, please, like, take the reins. I love your ideas. Because I just feel like I'm always fighting with someone, and
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I hate it.
I just did a collab with Ruin the Mind, actually. Actually,
Yes, I saw it.
a couple. Oh, you did already?
Uh-huh.
Oh, did you hear it?
Wait,
Oh no. Oh no, it's not out yet.
I didn't,
Yeah.
no,
I
I
think
didn't
maybe
hear
they
it, but I
announced
saw
it.
that you
Yeah.
guys were working. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I was one day I just was like I had this like music idea. Well, I was like kind of angry and going through a breakup, and I it was just like I was just like writing a Ruin the Mind song. I knew it, so I sent it right to Ryan and said, "I just wrote the song for you." It just said you don't have to use it. That and he ended up loving it, so that was cool. And then he wanted me to sing on this cover he did that I had never heard this song before, so it was challenging. It was a challenging vocal, so it was, but
It's
yeah,
The Barbie girl cover?
no,
I was
no,
like, oh,
no.
you've never heard that song before?
Oh, you never heard that before? You know, it's a Danish band actually. Aqua.
No, yeah,
There's a
no,
proud of Denmark. Yeah.
I grew up like as a little gay boy on YouTube. That music video had like a tight grip on us as children.
Okay. I didn't know if it made it over to the U.S. at all. Actually,
Oh,
it was
hell
huge
yeah.
in Denmark. Yeah.
My mom said she was like, "Oh God, that song used to annoy the hell out of me. Like they would just spam it on the radio
Okay.
back in
Okay.
like '97." So I think it was like it had its moment where it was just like everywhere.
Okay. Okay. I
But I
wasn't
love
sure.
that song. That song is science. Science. That song is scientific.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because sometimes when things are big in Denmark, I have no idea whether it's made it to the rest of the world, you know. Uh, and if it's like a Danish band, I just assume no one's ever heard of it. But everyone's heard of Agua, I guess, and Barbie. Yeah.
Is like me and my is that Danish? Do you know them?
Me
They
and
did like
I.
doopy 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 doop boop boop doopy 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 yeah yeah. Do you know that song?
I don't know that one actually. Yeah, I don't know that
Just
one.
some random
Yeah.
late 90s. There's yeah, I always see on I go down holes on YouTube of these like
Yeah.
Euro bands that are just like weird like pairings of two people put together that are just like doing some weird like Japanese inspired thing or something, and then they have like the lyrics in English, and it's just like a whole like
Yeah.
weird amalgamation of so many different things.
Um, when I'm curious with your filmmaking, do you also act in it as well?
Hell no.
No, no, no. Okay, okay.
No, and that's what's
Because
so
yeah, I
that
saw it
I
looked a little cinematic in your music videos and stuff. I could
no,
see.
I love acting. I love acting. I want to get into it so bad. I did theater in high school, and
Okay.
um I love acting. But the thing is that when you're in front of the camera, you can't be behind the camera.
Okay.
It's I'm just I have a really good DP who I trust a lot right now that I
Hmm.
collab with. So that has been very helpful. But God, it's so much easier when you're not dealing with, okay, what do I look like? But then also, what does the shot look like?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not good. It's a nightmare.
Um, are you a fan of Philly cheesesteaks? I had to ask. I remember because I went to college near Philadelphia. I went to University of Delaware, which is not too
Oh,
far from
really?
Philadelphia. Yeah, and my band in college actually we rehearsed in Philadelphia, so I went back and forth to Philadelphia quite a lot.
Okay.
But
Um,
The Philly cheesesteak was the thing. I don't know if it still is.
well, when I came here, I quickly learned that the natives of Philly, um, from the natives of Philly, that like Pat and Gino's, those touristy places, those places suck. The real places are like the
Oh, okay.
family owned, you know, like the juicy ones. Because I mean, to be honest with you, I've had those like touristy cheesecakes and or cheesesteaks, and they're they taste like cardboard and dog food. I don't know, but
Okay.
they're good. But they're
Yeah.
good. Same way, like you know, fast food is good. I don't know.
And is South Street still like the rock and roll? They still have like a rock and roll street.
I love
Street?
South Street.
Yeah.
I just recently was with. That's where me, Poison the Vicar, and Voice in the Dark just had like a huge hangout. We were looking at
Oh, nice.
tons of like late '90s music magazines at this thrift store. Um, so yeah, I was getting some really. I was feeling that magic. Although maybe I don't know if anybody else does. But when I go there, I know that history. Tattoo
Yeah.
Moms is still there.
I don't know.
You know, you don't know Tattoo Moms?
I don't think so. Is it a tattoo parlor or is it a
No,
clothing store?
It's a bar restaurant venue.
Oh, it's a bar restaurant venue. Okay, okay, yeah. I just remember we went there to South Street to like get like, rock and roll bracelets or like a decent studded belt and stuff like that.
There's some, I mean, that's where the great thrift stores and record stores are. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, thanks for doing this. This 30-minute Zoom is going to cut us off in a second, but yeah, it was great to meet you, man.
it
And
was nice to meet you too.
yeah, and congrats on the EP. I didn't realize it had just come out. So yeah, congrats on that. And let's stay in touch.
We definitely should.
All right. Thanks, Ryder.
Bye.
Bye.